it kind of took my breath away. How often do you hear management say membership growth 5.2 million, the same as Q2 last year, lower than our Q2 million forecast, and they describe that as not stellar. Now, most companies would say we had a terrific sign-up. They wouldn't even acknowledge that the street is looking for something. This is the kind of thing that I love about Netflix, but also it's very hard to hold on to when they're saying it wasn't stellar, given the fact that we're all used to a world where people would say we hit it out of the park. This is a Bryce Harper quarter. I was waiting for Bryce Harper's name to be mentioned.
But how do you think investors, or let's say you've been out there and thinking, well, this thing's, it just never comes down for me to buy any. I mean, is it an opportunity for those to say this is going to be a one-quarter phenomenon? They've just taken in their guidance for the next quarter, and in fact now they're lowballing it, and here's my chance? Or is it going to actually embolden those who are scared off by the valuation overall and believe that this is the first sign of real weakness because competition is increasing overall?
Well, look, I think that this is the first time I ever heard the following. Maybe the total addressable market isn't that big. Maybe the 50 million in the U.S., maybe we're all sharing, and we've already saturated 320 million. Maybe these 2 billion people that we're thinking about that could hang on, maybe they can't afford this. I've never heard these questions ever before. All I ever heard about was sky's the limit, sky's the limit, sky's the limit. So the fact is that if this stock were let's say back to where it was at the beginning of the year, a giant decline, I would say, you know what, those questions might be answered affirmatively. This is really not a problem, and I'd buy it. But today is a day where someone's selling it down 52, who's got a giant, you got to let them take their profit. But you got to. The people who are bold enough to own this stock should take the profit if they feel they can't answer the questions I just raised.
Back to levels of less than 2 months ago. Bernstein's note is titled "The Day Netflix Investors Have Been Waiting For." B of A comes out and says Netflix never misses twice. And in fact, if Bespoke went back and looked at reaction to earnings prints, Q2 is generally received the worst.
Well, we did have, they had it just, 18 months ago. Look, I think that if this stock were down more, the answer to David's question would be yes. But the fact is that you now have to take into account something that they said they didn't do well and at least roll it back a little more. But do I think it's a great company overall? Yes. Do I think that it's a momentum stock that's been hard to value? Momentum stocks can't have more than one of these. They can't have more than one.
So the next quarter is important.
That's the way it works.
They have lowered the guidance for that quarter, so it may be easier to beat.
But yeah, it could be
talking about a company that's going to spend $12 billion acquiring content. Now we say $8 billion because that's $8 billion being spent for stuff that will air this year, but they're also spending another $4 on things for the future.
Well,
that number is just so stunning. But they also have markedly increased their
good
marketing.
Margins, but it's not. I don't know for margin story.
No,
but I do think.
But their marketing budget has gone up dramatically.
Oh yes, and let's not forget they also were paying the boatload, paying nothing for content. Now they're going to pay a boatload if they still want that content. In other words, when those deals run off with the established players, that's where they built themselves. They built themselves on stupid media giving away prices. Media's got smarter.
Those deals are off, and when Fox Disney gets together, that's going to mean they're going to pull that all back.
No, I'm just saying that's just going to be even worse. I mean, I get that.
Hey there, thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.